Hello everyone, my name is Reed, and welcome to Storytime. Today we are going to be reading some Choosing Beggars stories, so sit back, relax, take a load off, and enjoy the show. A choosing beggar and a fake Rolex. Okay, a little backstory here. My girlfriend had bought me a cheap $20 fake Rolex off of a Chinese website for Christmas. I don't care if it isn't real. I love it, and it is the closest thing to a real Rolex I will ever own, and that is just fine with me. It looks the part from a glance, and that is good enough. This just happened a couple hours ago, so the story is still fresh, and we are still laughing about it. Earlier today, we went to the grocery store to resupply our snacks and soda, and there is usually a panhandler or two out in the parking lot, so we know what to expect. Today, there was a sad-looking homeless guy outside with a sign that said, "Hungry and homeless, please help." I was feeling nice, but I didn't have any cash on me, so I offered to buy the guy one of those pre-made $5 cold sandwiches from the deli. He says happily, "I would love one. I'm starving. Oh, can you also get me a soda pop too?" I was a little annoyed that he would ask for extra, but I could get a combo deal for $1.25 more, so I agreed. I went to the deli and got him his sandwich and soda. I guessed Pepsi was what he was wanting, and brought them back out to him while my girlfriend was doing the shopping. I give it to him, and my watch pokes out from my sleeve, and he asks what time it was. I said it is 4:15. He then tells me how nice of a watch I have and that he wish he could afford something like that. I said thanks, it was my Christmas gift from my girlfriend. I said to have a good day and went back into the store to find my girlfriend. We were in there for about another 20 minutes, and I tell her about the old guy out front and that I bought him a cheap sandwich, not mentioning the soda. She gives me a kiss on the cheek and tells me what a good guy I am. We reach the checkout and pay, then continue outside. As we get outside, we are walking to our car when all of a sudden I hear, "That's the guy, officer. That's the guy who pushed me down and stole my watch. It's a family heirloom. You have to get it back from that thief." The officer stops me and asks me if it is true, and I say, "Absolutely not. This is a fake Rolex that my girlfriend bought me for Christmas. She is right here if you want to ask her." The guy is rambling on while the cop is standing there listening to that. "It's not a fake. It's a family heirloom. It's a $10,000 watch. He's a thief. Get my watch back." The cop is looking dumbfounded. I tell the cop, "Look, you can see for yourself. This watch is just a cheap copy. Babe, can you pull up the order on the phone to show the officer that you just bought this as a gift?" She quickly pulls out her phone and shows the cop on the app where she ordered it and when. Late November 2019. The cop looks at us and looks back at the guy who's still screaming on it being a family heirloom and that I'm a thief and blah blah blah. The cop says, "Looks good to me. Sorry to bother you folks. Have a good rest of your afternoon." He then turns back to the homeless guy and tells him that he has to vacate the premises as panhandling is an arrestable offense. It really is in Chico, California. The homeless guy, now defeated, throws most of his sandwich at me and says, "This sandwich sucks anyways," and then throws his soda at the cop. The cop dodges it, but that was a bad move. He is now telling the homeless guy to put his hands behind his back and that he is now under arrest. All the while, he is screaming that he has rights and that I am a no-good thief and I stole his family heirloom. We walk back to our car as the cop is loading this guy into his car, load up our snacks and head home, laughing about it all the way there. We aren't going to help out Winco panhandlers anymore either. My least favorite people. Do something good for them and they try to take advantage of you. Good on OP for handling the situation like a pro and not getting frustrated with the whole situation. I'm glad they also got a good laugh of it at the end too. Offered a choosing beggar a grade she didn't deserve. She said it doesn't deserve her. Back in college, I had this time when my presentation group work went perfectly smooth. We quickly agreed on the topics, each did their part spectacularly and on time, etc. You know, one of the rare times without any dramas whatsoever. It's too smooth. It's alarmingly too smooth, like the peace before a storm. Indeed, 2 days before the presentation, a person stormed into our group. Let's call her B, as in bench. She was furious. She angrily inquired us why she was not aware of any of this, and she pointed her finger at me. "You were the group leader, but you didn't notify me." Perhaps because I was quite often in that role in the other group assignments, she assumed so. But not this time because the work went too smooth, we didn't bother to have a leader. And let's not dig into this. The important thing is, if you want to work with the group, you have to try to contact first rather than waiting for the group of people to drag you in. We were all offended, but thinking how 2 days would make it hard for her to find another group to work with, we decided to redivide the parts in the presentation for her to take part in. Right then, our professor suggested that there would be 2 presentation sessions because we had too many groups to fit all into one, and that all groups could choose which session to present in. We were lazy butts, so we decided to postpone to the second session, 4 days after instead of 2 days. However, when the first session comes, Professor said, no choice, he's going to pick randomly, and yes, our group was among those in the first session. It should not be a problem because we were all done with rehearsal and such. But Bench hadn't showed up yet. We tried to call her to no avail, and the presentation went without her. Of course, we marketed her contribution to the group work at 50%. 100% means doing the given task perfectly, which means she would get a B+ rather than our A+, a rather good deal. When she learnt of that, she again became furious. She sent me a 2-page email about how irresponsible I am, how bad our presentation is, how we cheated her by switching the presentation session behind her back, and even if we let her have our grade, it would not deserve her, and another group from the second session invited her already, so she had nothing to do with our group anymore. She went on to badmouth me with everybody she could in the program. Some of them asked me to confirm the story. Our group defended me, and I kinda ignored her until now. But I'm guessing now OP's thinking about it and was like, time to blast this beggar all up on Reddit. Well, glad you did. It was a nice read. Choosing Beggar gets computer upgrade for free. This happened quite a few years ago now, but still irks me. Backstory. I have a technical background, but work as a customer service call center supervisor for a major computer manufacturer. So, when things got technical, I was called to assist. An agent tells me that the customer is unhappy with their system performance and would like a refund. As in any case like this, I take a look at the customer's call history. At no point had they called technical support. They also had purchased their computer 5 years prior and were well out of their warranty. I spent over 3 hours explaining to this customer that of course his PC was slower than his brand new one at work. I could recommend some things that would speed it up marginally, but that ultimately this PC had about half of the speed/power as his work one. Choosing Beggar. Well, I want a refund then. No one told me this when I purchased it. Sir, your computer is over 5 years old. Refunds are only issued within the first 30 days. Technically, this system, given its age, the components are obsolete. We cannot resell this computer. Fine, then I want a new computer. Starts listing off specs. Sir, I can certainly get you over to my contact in our sales team to arrange that. I'm certain that system will give you the speed you are looking for. No, you're not listening. I do not want this slow computer anymore. You send me the new system, I send this one back to you. It's win-win. Me, and how's that? This way, lawyers don't have to get involved. I start in on the script for legal involvement, while also explaining that contractually, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He escalates. We have one manager on duty, nice guy, but not technical nor customer focused. He came from the training department and he meant well, but didn't really understand policy. I explain the situation, he takes the call. It was a very long-winded conversation for over an hour. I do other supervisor things in the meantime, assured that it would be dealt with. Manager. So you'll have to make sure his personal details are up to date. Why? Because we're sending him the new system he wants. That is contrary to every policy. You also know that his original system was $1,100 and the setup he wants is $5,300. Oh, wow. Me, waits for light bulb moment. Well, I already promised it, so... I get back on the phone with Choosing Beggar, who is decidedly smug about this interaction. Still makes my blood boil after 12 years. I think if my manager negotiated that deal, I would let him do the rest of it. There is no way I would want to get back on the phone with a smug person like that, especially after they got what they wanted. Choosing Beggar severely underpays for 22+ hours of babysitting. So, for the past 2 days, my best friend has been babysitting a 9-year-old girl for a family she sort of knew. Basically, the parents needed to go somewhere during the day, dropping off at 6 a.m. and picking the kid up around 4 to 5 p.m., both days. The agreement for payment from the beginning was that because the family was so busy, they would figure out prices with her, my friend, later. Over both days, everything apparently went well. My friend fed the kid all day and played with her, basically as involved as babysitting gets. There was a bit of trouble the first day with the dad dropping the kid off earlier than expected with short warning, but it wasn't a huge deal. To take these 2 days to babysit, my friend told me she had to rearrange her schedule a lot and figure out when work would get done. Basically, it was a bit of sacrifice to take this job, but hopefully would be worth it. Today, when the dad came to pick up his kid, they finally started talking about price. Here's the conversation as was described to me. Choosing beggar. Okay, so I think I can do 40. How does that sound? Friend. I don't think that will be enough. It was 2 days. Well, you're just playing with her. Can't be worth much more than that. Friend. How about we start at 80? It was 6 meals and a lot of time for me. 80? Really? All you were doing was playing with her. $80 is a lot of money for me. We should have talked about prices earlier. I've been busy, so this was a stretch for me anyways. Okay, well, I'm not paying any more than 80, and that's only because I'm not a jerk. It seems a bit selfish of you to want that much money for watching my kid. I guess that's fine. So, what really made me mad about all this is that because my friend isn't the most confident or outspoken, she wasn't able to stand up for herself and ask for the right price. I told her she should, but she blamed herself for it all and says it's a lesson learned to decide the price up front. I don't even know the family that did this, but it's astounding how they could just take advantage of my friend like this and act like she's the one in the wrong. I don't know much about how much babysitting's worth, but even though my friend isn't trained, I'm sure her time and effort is worth more than $80. The friend is right to an extent. Price definitely should have been, established up front to avoid something like this. But come on, that dad was such a jerk. Seems like they were going into this knowing they were going to scam this person the whole time, and that is messed up. So, I'm praying for karma to come in on this one. Choosing beggar wants me to take time off of work to take him to the airport. So, my cheap friend called me up and asked him to drive him and his wife to the airport the next month. I asked him what day, and he said Saturday. I was going to be in the area anyways, so I said okay. Then, the Monday before his Saturday flight, he asked me to change the schedule to drive him to the airport on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. tomorrow, because he got a last-minute deal on a flight change that saved him $500. I told him I work Monday through Friday. I can't take 2 hours off of work. He said, "What are you talking about? It's only a 15-minute drive from my house to the airport." I said, "First of all, I'm at work, so I would need to drive for 30 minutes to get from my office to your house, and it's a 25-plus minute drive from your house to the airport. Then I need to get back to my office from the airport, and that's another 30 minutes. Then he says, "Well, how about I chip in for gas?" I rolled my eyes back and said, "Let me guess, $5? Yeah, not going to happen." The last thing he said before I hung up was, "Geez, you think you can count on friends." Oh man, you absolutely can count on friends, but in a situation like this, I think you're definitely demanding too much. I mean, I also doubt that this person would have helped OP in a situation like this. Man, the nerve of some people. I'll take 2 discounts. Your profit doesn't matter. This is from an online store interaction with a customer. Not sure this qualifies as bad customer service, but despite what people may think, we actually have to make a profit on the orders to stay in business. Is there a way to take advantage of my new customer 10% off code and the holiday offer for free shipping? It lets me put in one code or the other, but not both. Unfortunately, the system only allows for one code at a time. We do not have the ability or margin to offer 2 discounts together. However, if you use the holiday free shipping now, the new customer 10% code will still be able to be used on a future purchase. This tells me everything I need to know about your customer service. Thanks anyway. Okay, so I'm pretty darn sure that it's standard that you can only use one code when you go to checkout on any site ever. So I don't really see what the customer was aiming at anyways. And they were a really big jerk about it too. So no bueno. That's all she wrote for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked what you heard, subscribe for more, and as always, thanks for watching.